in the visual sense, they see the world.
Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I wanted to continue my review of this majority internet radio. I was kind of hurried on my first video trying to get it out because it's on sale for like 30% off right now. So I wanted you to, if you're interested in this, to get in on that deal. I apologize for the focus problem I was having with my camera. I don't normally have things set up over on this part of my office. I had to move over here, as I mentioned before, because where my other desk is, my router is right there. And apparently it was overwhelming the interface in this radio, and so it wouldn't connect. I moved it over here, and it's working fine. So I had to move my my video setup over here. So it was one of the reasons things were kind of out of focus. Hopefully they're in focus this time. I had a couple of comments. One was, why would you even get one of these if you can do everything on your cell phone like I did? Now, the reason I did the controlling on the cell phone is it was much easier, especially when setting things up like searching for stations, searching for podcast. It was easier to do that with when you were typing in a station name or podcast name on your cell phone than it would be, whoops, I kicked the camera, show's over, than it would be on here. And I'll try to illustrate that in a minute. So that kind of addresses why I was using my cell phone application so much. The other thing is, I don't know about your cell phone, but my cell phone audio is not terribly loud, even when I use the speaker. And it's kind of tinny. And I've got a, pretty good cell phone, but it's a cell phone. It's not really used for listening to radio programs. So that's another reason why you wouldn't want to use your cell phone to listen to internet radio or podcast. It'll work, but the audio quality is much better on this. The audio quality on this thing is fantastic. I'm trying to remember, I had another question or two, but I've forgotten them already. My memory is really, really getting bad. So that answers that question. Yeah, you could use your cell phone to do the same thing, but the audio quality is not going to be as good. And once you've got this thing set up with the stations you want and your favorites, then you really don't need to use your cell phone anymore. Now, let me try to show you how on the radio you would find a broadcast. So you have to go to menu and then go to station list. So you have to use this wheel, go down there, then you push it in, and now it's downloading the database. Now you have these selections exactly like you had on your cell phone of stations in a given country. I've selected United States, favorites, my added stations, do a search, or find a station by location. And that's where you set United States. And then if you click here, it'll go to stations within the United States by state. Okay, now I got to go do this, turn this back on. Okay, station list. Okay, say we want to do a search. We'll go down to search. I'm turning this wheel here. I press the button, and now I can search. Now this is where it's insane to do a search. You have to use the wheel to pick each letter. And once you get to a letter, like I will try BBC, push to the end, B, B, and then move it over, C, and then you have to get over here by backing up and say OK. And there it found it. Found several stations that had the title BBC. BBC 4, 2, 3, and 6, and so on. So it's not impossible, but it's just a little cumbersome having to use that menu system I showed you, where you're putting in each character by using this to get to the character and then pushing the button to select the character and so on. So that's really what I would use the cell phone for initially, to get the stations in my favorites that I want to listen to. Once you get them in your favorites, then you can go to, let me see if I get to the right place. Go to last listened to, for instance, and there's the ones I've listened to recently. And I think it'll store the last 40, which is plenty. And then you just select one, you push the button, and you go to it. So you can see you really, except for the punching in the title, like having to type in using that system on the radio, the Dale Jr. Download podcast, be a lot of turning and pushing and turning and pushing, where you could do it much easier on your cell phone. So that's why I was using my cell phone, because I was setting it up initially. The database is huge. It's a huge database. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but I remember on my older, probably 8 years old now, internet radios, the database was like 500,000 stations. There's a lot of, and of course now, a lot of stations have converted over to the internet, so they have both their regular broadcast and internet, or just internet. So there's a lot of things to choose from. So again, if you're doing that searching and finding at stations, it's much easier to do that on your cell phone. Select it, store it in your list, and then put your cell phone away and then use your list. Oh, the other thing that I had a comment on, which I have to agree with 100%, is these radios are only as good as the service is available. I have two fairly expensive internet radios that I bought, maybe 6 or 7, 8 years ago. And they had a different service. I bought one, the service went away, so I bought another one which had a different service. Within a year, that service went away. So that's one possibility, is the service might go away. I believe the service this radio is using is one that's been around for quite a long time. So take that for what it's worth. The other options, let me go to mode. Oh, I held it too long. I was turning it off. This is the on, off, and mode select. And I never remember whether you push and hold or you just push. You just push. Okay, there's the other things you can do with it. There's the internet radio. And I'm a little upset that the picture they show in the ad of that screen doesn't look like this. it's different. Not a big deal. It's just different. And on the ad, these, whoops, oh, I kicked the camera again. Boy, I'm really dumb. These are all on the screen. You don't have to scroll. Here, you have to scroll. So you've got internet radio, you got podcast. So it will search for a podcast, again, via Wi-Fi. You got Spotify. I don't have a Spotify account, so I can't show you that. You have music player. You have FM radio. You have Bluetooth, where you can connect your cell phone or tablet or laptop to this and use this as an amplified audio player. And it timed out. And where'd we get? Oh, auxiliary in. You can also use this as a speaker amplifier with an auxiliary in, and then back to internet radio. There is in the menu item an option for doing an update. So you can, when they make an update, you can get that downloaded via the machine. You don't have to have anything else. You just use the radio itself to do the update. That's pretty nice. I know I've struggled with other devices, other radios, trying to get an update in via a computer and having lots of problems doing that. Depending on the station and what they're broadcasting in time, you will get additional information in the window here, like who's speaking, what the topic is, and stuff like that. So there is additional information available on some stations. The star here with a 5, that means I have selected and put in my favorites 5 stations, including 1 podcast. And I can get to that by selecting favorites, F-A-V, favorites. I push on that, and there's my 5. WRMI, Sci-Fi Old Time Radio, America's Old Time Radio, WBCQ, RNZ National, that's New Zealand. I think I must have, I actually have more than 5. There's BBC Radio 4 and Dale Hart Jr. And I got 9. Okay. I guess some reason, again, I'm still learning that not all these are considered my favorites. I have to figure out how that I set my favorites. Anyway, so that's some additional information. Hopefully this video I had the camera focus good so you can see the screen a lot better. Again, real life, this is like this page is white on black. On my camera, it shows it on light blue on darker blue. So the white, the real world display is much brighter, crisper, much crisper. I'm looking at my camera, and the lettering is a little fuzzy on my camera than it is on the screen. The screen is like really sharp. It's a small screen. As you can see, it's not very big. The radio itself, I always forget to give you measurements. And I guess I won't give them to you now because I don't know where my tape measure is. I am so disorganized. Oh, there it is. Stand by. Not that it's super duper and important that you know the measurements exactly, but I like to give them to you if I remember. So it's about 8 inches by 5 inches by 4 inches. So easily sit up, easily, that's easy for me to say. Easily fit on a bookcase or on your desk. It doesn't take up a lot of room. So that's about it. If you have additional questions, put them in the comment. And I appreciate Thomas, who's been supporting my channel, purchasing this and sending it to me for you to see. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.